You know, what's actually kind of funny and interesting to me too is like, while the gun control movement is putting a lot of resources into these Hawaii cases, you don't really see the same thing from the gun rights movement. You're kind of the only one doing this stuff.
None of the national groups are active in Hawaii,
No.
and that's
Which is always surprising to me because you're getting like these cases are pretty there's lots of cases going on right now, especially after Bruin. And look, I don't run any of the groups or whatever, but it always seemed to me like Hawaii is pretty fertile ground for a lot of these kind of challenges, and you've had like we talked about quite a bit of success going there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it probably comes down to costs versus an ability to fundraise in Hawaii. Hawaii is not that big of a state. I think it's about 1.5 million people. And, it costs money to fly out there. So, I mean, it's presumably the various national groups just made a decision that it's just simply not financially worthwhile to litigate cases out there because it's.
And to be fair, it is all the Ninth Circuit, and California is also in the Ninth Circuit and has a lot of the same kind of laws. But I don't know, just always kind of interesting to see the different way that resources have been allocated from the two different movements here, with
Hawaii
a lot coming from the gun control people and not much from the other side.
Yeah, I mean, I think the gun control groups maybe have a little bit better of a grasp on precedent and how these cases are all interrelated. It's but Hawaii also has a lot of very unique laws. I mean, that was one thing about the Teeter case. There just aren't a lot of states that ban butterfly knives. It's Hawaii and New Mexico are the only ones that banned them. And
they have a lot of very novel and strict gun weapons laws.
Yeah, no, I filed a case which is at the Ninth Circuit, Gutowski v. Lopez. And there we struck, we had 4 different issues we were suing over. 2 of them were county policies and 2 of them were state laws. And it essentially took, it was a 5-part process to purchase a firearm. We 3 of those were trips to the police station for various things. And we were able to get the trips down to the police station down to 1 day from 3. And we also got the hours of the police station extended because prior to our litigation, the police station, was only open until I think it was like 3:45. And now we've got extended hours so people can go there after work. And that's something that people just didn't face in the rest of the country. Imagine trying to schedule 3 trips during business hours within, 1 month period. That's a big infringement. We were able to win that before the Bruin opinion. We got the 2 state laws at issue struck down. One was a requirement that you bring your gun to the station, and in order to have it registered. The other one was a requirement that you use a handgun permit within 10 days after acquiring it. And then there were a couple other county policies. One was a county policy that you have to show up to the police station to physically receive your permit to acquire. We got them to start emailing it. But the point is that's was a unique requirement. I think the courts, part of the reason we won the trial court case, we were able to point to the fact that, the rest of the United States isn't doing this and they don't have gun crime. I'm talking about the gun control states. It's if California and New Jersey don't think this is a good idea, I mean, why is it Hawaii's extreme outlier that's requiring multiple trips to the police station just to exercise a fundamental right?
And courts like to go after the extreme outliers, especially the Supreme Court in their gun litigation to this point. So I don't know. It reminds me a lot of DC, to be honest, where Heller itself was not some big effort by the gun rights groups.
I think to be fair to be fair to the gun rights groups, though, I mean, I have a legal practice in Hawaii. People know to call me. Mm-hmm. I have helped, you know, you know, with a organization, for many years now. Actually, the founder, there's two main founders of the first Hawaiian gun rights movement ever. One of them, I got his rights to own a firearm for him, and afterwards, him and two other people formed the first gun rights group, the Hawaii Firearms Coalition. And so I've been
Yeah.
active with them since their inception. So, I mean, I have an active part within the Hawaii structure. I also have a lot of friends and family that live there. So, it's a little bit of a
Sure.
different dynamic if, you're living,
Sure.
if you're in Fairfax, just trying to find Hawaii on a map.
Yeah. 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 Look, and it's not to say that the gun rights groups that are active in legal challenges haven't had success, especially in the post-Bruin landscape. They certainly have, or even before then. Or I just think there's some interesting similarities there with what's going on with your challenges in Hawaii and how DC has played out in a lot of cases where it's just not it's much less driven by national groups than maybe it should be. I don't think, maybe go more of the places that have these outlier laws and do more of these types of challenges. I don't know. It's hard not to see. It's hard not to notice the lack of attention in these sorts of areas, especially like I mentioned earlier, where the gun control groups seem to notice this and value what goes on in places like Hawaii and DC and be very strategic in how they think about litigation there, or trying to influence legislation. Just not nearly the same effort on the other side.